UFC Vegas 84 is coming up in a few weeks, and guys, today we have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps, by the way, if you'd like to skip to any particular part of the video. We're going to get into it in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to another complete betting guide video. Guys, we're going to go through the bets that we made last weekend for the members. We're going to go through confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that you should avoid, fights that I do not think you should be betting on. We're adding a new section to this being potential prop bets, and we're going to get into lock of the week, and finally, potential parlays that you can make. And again, if you'd like to skip to any part of the video, timestamps will be there if you'd like to skip to them. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's start off this video with the official member bets for last week. If you guys are interested, very, very cheap compared to other channels, by the way. Channel members will be getting access to the official bets that I will be placing the Thursday or Friday before the event. I will make it in a community post. And again, these are every bet fight that I will actually be betting on. We'll be talking about a lot of fights, a lot of picks, but I don't always put my money where my mouth is. These are going to be the fights that I actually end up putting bets on. Anyways, let's take a look at what we had for UFC 296. There was only one hiccup, and to be honest with you guys, I really did almost not do it. I almost put it in the risky bet section. That is Casey O'Neill versus Ariane Lipski going over 1.5 rounds. I thought it was safe enough because it's two women fighting, but at the end of the day, Ariane Lipski did end up finding a finish. I got to stop doing that with her, man. I got to stop doing that. But other than that, we had a very, very successful night when it came to betting. The only problem was this two-fight parlay ended up getting ruined because, of course, Ariane Lipski. But, of course, we had another single bet with Irene Aldana and Carol Rosa going over 1.5 rounds. Tony Ferguson versus Patty Pillman over 1.5 rounds. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington over 1.5 rounds. Then we had a two-fight parlay with both Alexandre Pantoja to win and Patty Pillman to win. And another two-fight parlay with Patty Pillman to win and Irene Aldana versus Carol Rosa going over 1.5 rounds. Another single bet with Alexandre Pantoja to win. Another bet with an underdog opportunity in Shamil Gaziev to win. And of course, the Randy Brown fight ended up getting canceled. I was going to bet on Randy Brown to win. Guys, very, very successful. If you guys are interested, by the way, again, channel membership, check it out down below. We only had one little hiccup, which is uncommon for women. But other than that, we hit every official bet that we placed. But the other problem is, of course, like this is the official play section here. But then I had one risky bet, Cody Durden to win, and I jumped on that as an underdog opportunity at plus 230. I understood that was a risky bet, and that didn't end up happening. But after that, we have a for-fun parlay, which I just pick fighters I think are going to win. Of course, this one, I never expect to hit. It's just fun if you have that crazy payout. I did it one time, man. One time I bet on every fight on the card, and it hit. I was going crazy, but always have a for fun parlay going on there. But for the solid bets that we placed, again, only one hiccup, that being over here, guys. If you're interested, again, check out the membership down below. Very cheap compared to other channels. Thank you so much for being here. Let's start off this video with the confident picks. Before we talk about these confident picks, guys, it is important to note that I'm not going to be breaking down every single fight. I have an entire video that I uploaded yesterday breaking down each fight, going in depth to each fight. So I'm going to basically sum up these fights for you. If you're interested in hearing my full thoughts, again, go check out that video, but I'm going to give a brief reason to why these are confident picks. My first confident pick on the card is going to be Farid Basharat. Farid has looked phenomenal against top-level competition, and he's only 11-0. While Taylor Lapis is a great fighter, I wholeheartedly believe that Farid Basharat is on his way to a top 10 fighter in the division, potentially becoming champion one day. I don't think his role is stopping anytime soon, and I don't think it's going to stop here. Farid Basharat is just so complete. It's a privilege to watch this guy fight, and he has all the technique in the world. I'm picking Farid Basharat. I am very, very confident in this fight. The next confident pick I have for you guys is Marcus McGee. He's taking on Gaston Bolonis, who is a fantastic Muay Thai fighter, but at the same time, Marcus McGee can absolutely expose the ground game. He is very powerful in himself. He can knock out Gaston, to be honest with you, but Marcus McGee has more options to win this fight. He's on a roll. He's looking better and stronger every single time that we see him. I like Marcus McGee a lot to win this fight. Then we have Ricky Simon as the next confident pick, guys. He's taking on Mario Batista, who is an improving fighter in himself, but Ricky Simon, I believe, has done better against better competition than Mario Batista. Mario Batista will want to stand there and probably have a little bit of a technical brawl with Ricky Simon, but then I could see him planting his feet. I see this scenario happening a lot throughout the fight. Batista plants his feet, gets ready to go and really start trading. Ricky Simon, bang, double leg. Then he's on the ground. Ricky Simon will have a likely huge advantage there. I think Ricky Simon is just going to be the better pressure fighter in this fight. I also really like him to win. All right, guys, take this confident pick with a grain of salt. I almost didn't include it, okay? So understand that. I just didn't almost include it because of the division that it's in. And it has a history of, oh, well, yeah, what do you expect? It's the featherweight division, you know? Norma Dumont is absolutely a better fighter than Yana Santos. Yana Santos sucks, and Norma Dumont actually has some technique behind her. That's the entire reason. Norma Dumont is a confident pick of mine. And guys, I have one more confident pick for you, and that is going to be Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev has just been at the top of the division for so long now. He is a very complete fighter. I think he is way better than Johnny Walker. And Johnny Walker, in my opinion, in this fight, only has a random punch. That's the only way he can win this fight. And like, not a random punch, I should say. He's just that powerful. And Magomed Ankalaev, it has everything else. He has the cardio, technique. He probably has better hands than Johnny Walker. He has the ground opportunity. And I believe over the course of 5 rounds, Magomed Ankalaev is very likely to get a finish in this fight. I wholeheartedly believe that. Magomed Ankalaev is another confident pick of mine. All right, guys, let's talk about some underdog opportunities. It is important to note that while these may not necessarily be picks of mine, they're underdog opportunities. I just think that for the value of this underdog, they are most likely to win on that card. If you're going to pick an underdog, that's the most likely scenario that you're going to get a win here. The first underdog opportunity I have for you is Jim Miller. The problem is Jim Miller's 40. He started showing his age in the Alexander Hernandez fight, but right now, Jim Miller is sitting at a plus 210 underdog at the time of recording this video. Jim Miller is very live to get a finish here, especially against Gabriel Benitez, who is a knock you out or get knocked out type fighter. Jim Miller is coming out of a knockout win. He has all the technique in the world. He is a better fighter than Gabriel Benitez. The problem is he's 40. Keep that in mind, but he is absolutely an underdog opportunity fighter. Guys, the next underdog opportunity I have for you is going to be Bruno Ferreira. Now, I am actually picking Bruno Ferreira to win this fight. He is sitting at a plus 200 underdog at the time of recording this video. Here's the thing. Phil Hawes is the better fighter. This fight's probably going to remain on the feet, and Phil Hawes will probably be touching him at the beginning of this fight. But while Phil Hawes is a great fighter, he has chin issues. And Bruno Ferreira, what does he have? Great striking, great counter striking, and most importantly, power. If Bruno Ferreira connects on Phil Hawes, I believe Phil Hawes is going to go to sleep. And I think it's very likely that over the course of 3 rounds, Bruno Ferreira is going to land one of those bombs and knock out Phil Hawes. I actually am picking him to win this fight. I don't know if I'm ever going to bet on it. It's a good opportunity, though. I like if you were to take into consideration this fight. I don't mind his chances at all. I'm picking him to win. All right, guys, let's talk about fights that, in my opinion, you should be avoiding. And of course, this doesn't mean that for the prop section, you should be avoiding it. But just to pick fighters to win, I think you should avoid these fights. The first one being Preston Parsons versus Basil Hafez. And it's mostly the reason because of Basil Hafez. He had one short notice, really good performance. And that's the only UFC level competition that he's fought. People forget, this guy is 8-4, and he fought a short notice replacement against Jack Della Maddalena, and Jack Della Maddalena was not training for the grappler and pressure that Basil Hafez would be putting on him. So I think everybody at this moment is overrating Basil Hafez. He could be a great fighter. He could break into the welterweight top 15 one day because he had a great performance against Jack Della Maddalena. Preston Parsons, we know what we're going to get with him. I just am going to wait to see how Basil Hafez does in his next couple fights before I really jump on the train. I think just for this reason alone, because of lack of competition, you guys forget that he's 8-4 against low-level competition. Okay? I would just stay away from this one personally. The next fight that I believe you should be staying away from is Matheus Nicolau versus Manel Kape. Now, you could argue this. They've already fought, and it was a split decision win for Matheus Nicolau. It was a very close fight. But there's a little bit more to this because both of these guys are honestly at the top of the division. Matheus Nicolau is coming off of a really rough knockout loss, and what if his chin's gone? You got to think about that, especially when people get flatlined like Nicolau did. And on top of that, Manel Kape has put together a 4-fight win streak since that loss, and he's been improving every single time that we see him. It's a tough fight to pick. It's tough to gauge where both fighters are. Has Nicolau really improved, or is his chin cracked? We don't really know. They're both really top level competition in the flyweight division, and it's tough to pick a winner in my opinion. I would stay away from this fight if I were you. All right, guys, let's talk lock of the week. And unfortunately, because I'm a fan of Andrei Arlovski, the lock of the week is going to be Waldo Cortez Acosta. There's not much to say, guys. Andrei Arlovski at 45 years old now. His chin finally got cracked. He's looking slower than ever. You can't be in the UFC and be 45 years old. Dan Henderson was like the only guy to do it. But even him, he was looking old. He was putting together some wins. But Waldo Cortez Acosta will be faster. He's looking great for heavyweight. He's very athletic, very fast, fantastic boxing. He's going to chin Andrei Arlovski. It's sad to say, but Andrei Arlovski should be hanging it up now. He's 45 years old. I am so confident that Waldo Cortez Acosta is going to win this fight, and it's going to be sad to see, in my opinion. All right, guys, let's talk about some potential prop bets that we can make on here, because while at the time of recording this video, the props haven't dropped yet, and not all of them will always be available. This is going to be a little bit more of the fun section of the video, the prop bets and the parlays, but let's see what we can come up with. First of all, I really like for both female fights. I like the over 1.5 rounds of them. I also kind of like, let's take a look. You know what? Let's do this. Let's work from bottom to the top here and see if there's anything in particular that I do like. I'm just brainstorming here. If you want to jump on anything, maybe there's some of them that I really like. Again, if you want to see that I actually put my money where my mouth is, channel membership, you can see the official bets that I will be placing. Anyways, Andrei Arlovski, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Typically, like, I could see this one going under. Absolutely. But I don't like to do that typically because sometimes you just get decisions with two tough, really, really tough guys. That's really like the problem with that. So I would avoid that. For Basil Hafez, I'm staying away from completely. Fareed Basharat versus Taylor Lapis, I don't think there's anything really in particular that I'd like to touch there. Felipe Bunes versus Dennis Bondar, nothing there too. Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benitez. You could do Jim Miller by knockout. I'm interested to see what that would be because Jim Miller alone right now is a 210 underdog. So I don't mind that at all. Or you could do Jim Miller, do the under too. I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. Of course, with Ketlin Vieira over 1.5 rounds, I'm definitely going to be hitting that. Marcus McGee. You could... Ooh, this is tough. I'm probably just going to pick Marcus McGee to win. I'm probably going to bet on Marcus McGee. He's turning into quite the favorite, though. That's a little bit of a problem. Marcus McGee, you could do both by KO or by submission. The problem is, if you want to hit one of those, he could win the fight by both ways. That's really tough. Mateus Nicolau versus Manel Cap. Typically, I would do over 1.5 rounds on top-level fighters like this. Both guys are super, super tough. But because Nicolau just got his chin cracked, I'm going to stay away from it personally. Nicholas Mata versus Tom Nolan. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Phil Hawes, you could potentially do the under, or you could do Bruno Ferreira by KO. I would imagine that'd be a little bit more because Bruno Ferreira in this line just changed a little bit. He is already a little bit of an underdog. That's really interesting. Ricky Simone versus Mario Batista. I could actually see Ricky Simone looking for a submission. I wouldn't really do anything on there. Yana Santos, Norma Dumont for sure over 1.5 rounds. And honestly, I don't mind Magomed Ankalaev by TKO. I really don't. I could see him wearing on Johnny Walker for 5 rounds and then like in the 3rd or 4th round, just ending up pounding on him. Absolutely pounding on him and ended up finding a TKO. That I don't mind either. Plus, over 1.5 rounds, honestly, I might kind of hit that. But the problem is Johnny Walker's chin. That's a toughie. But I don't mind some of these prop bets. Again, if you're interested to see what I actually end up playing, check out the membership. But now, guys, we move on to another fun section of the video, that being potential parlays. Let's just pick some fighters here. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's take Waldo Cortez Acosta, the lock of the week. Very confident picking Fareed Basharat. What else do we like here? It's too bad at this time of this early, we can't add the 1.5 rounds and like prop bets that we like to place to see what we can put here. But honestly, these two get together. Ooh, I might be hitting that. Oh man, I like that. 2 times your money right there. That's a very, very nice parlay in my opinion, both Fareed and Waldo Cortez Acosta. I like that. But other than that, let's take Marcus McGee. Let's take Tom Nolan. Ricky Simone, Magomed Ankalaev. That's 8 times your money, but I don't typically like to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like to do more than like 2 parlays. More than 2 leg parlays. So even if you want to add Norma Dumont to that, oh man, that's almost 11 times your money. It's fun what you can put together here, but like there's a couple things. Like actually, I really do like Waldo and Fareed together. 2 times your money. I really do like that. But other than that, Magomed Ankalaev, he's not going to get you very much. Magomed and Ricky Simone. That's 2 times your money. That's not bad too. How about Ricky Simone and Waldo Cortez Acosta? Again, double your money. There's some good, like if you're betting early this time around, you could really put some together. What about Magomed and Marcus McGee? At 1.5. Yeah, that's a toughie. I wouldn't do that. I don't think that's worth it because there's bound to be an upset at some point in this card. But as of right now, there are some really good odds for like Bruno Ferreira if you want to hit some underdog opportunity. Bruno Ferreira and someone like Magomed Ankalaev, then you're looking really, really nice there. There are some really nice things that you could do this card. There's some fights definitely, like I said, stay away from. If you want to hit, if you're feeling real good, talk about Jim Miller. Talk about, where was the underdog opportunity? Bruno Ferreira. 4 times your money for that. I really don't mind that. Honestly, that's a really, really nice together. But honestly, huge favorites. I'm feeling really good about these huge favorites here. Them together is about 2 times your money. Actually, oof, that one's tempting. That one's really tempting. There's a lot you can do this week, guys. There's a lot you can do. Let's see just for fun, of course, because we have a for fun parlay too. Let's pick every fight. We're going to go with Felipe Bunes, Jim Miller. We're going to go Macy. We're going to go Marcus McGee. We're going to go with, that's a toughie, Mateus Nicolau. Honestly, Mateus Nicolau could be turned into an underdog opportunity with those odds. Tom Nolan, Bruno Ferreira, Ricky Simone, Norma Dumont, Magomed. Oh my God. I am putting $1 on this. You know what? This might be worth $5. You get $2,000 for calling all of those fights right. That might be worth my $5 because there's a lot of underdogs in there. What if you wanted to bet 20? What do you get? Oh my God. $20 gets you 10 grand. That's tempting, man, but there's bound to be an upset in there. But then again, I'm betting on upsets for this fight. It's just fun to talk about the parlays and see what you can actually do, guys. I'm feeling pretty good about this week, to be honest with you. I'm feeling really good. Let me know what you think down below. And thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. On the screen right now, if you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there'll be 2 videos for you to check out right here. Let me know what your bets are going to be down below. I would love to talk to you down there. Check out the channel membership. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.